G'day everyone, and welcome back to Stitch Up, and another episode of a very stitched up Christmas. In this episode, this should be episode 6, I believe, and in this episode, we are going to do, as we promised in the last episode, we're actually going to ride all the rides and have a bit of a look around the park and see how that goes. So I'm going to start at the entrance. We're going to walk down the staircase and see some changes, which you can probably already start to see there. I'm going to let you enjoy the Stitch Up intro, and I'll see you in just a sec.
Keep your hopes up for Christmas. That maybe all the fire will see.
Okay, welcome back. So we are now going to walk through parts of the park, and I'm going to see if I can do this without a lot of people leaving. Sorry about that, guys. And we can just start to talk about different parts of the vistas as we look through the park. So as you come through the entrance, and we talked about this in the last episode. In episode 5, we created the chairlift. It takes you to the upper section of the park, the upper plateau. And what is cool is you can get to see the scale. So from here, you really get to see the size of it. And so if you have a look around there, and like once we start putting other rides in and other points of interest that you can see up there, and don't forget those dueling coasters that we talked about. All of those things are going to sit on that upper plateau. Those things will all add to the skyline of the park, and I think that's going to be really cool. So this is going to be this kind of very, very first focal point. And here we go. We can actually see, so these people, look how close they are as these people are riding the chairlift to the upper plateau, and they're probably coming straight back because there's nothing up there. Okay, cool. So we got this extra point over here, and don't forget, this is going to be the point where people will be able to stop here and take photos and just look down, basically, and look down and see the rest of the park. People will then continue along here. They'll come along this way, straight down there. Ooh, there we go. I need to make sure I keep going forward, not backwards, I think is the key to this this camera. I've actually gone ahead and put in here. In fact, if I jump off this view and have a look here, I've started to put in the railings, and I'm going to use exactly the same railings, the topiary. I'm going to use that along the whole section up the top, and I think that's going to go really well. I'm also going to put some wooden slatting under here, so that's going to be quite nice, just to finish it off a little bit, make it a little bit more built. So that'll be very cool. Happy with all that. Happy with how the front of the ride looks. The very first thing you come to is the very first ride, and that'll be this one. Yeah, this is the Tri-Storm, and we need to name this. So if you have any suggestions on what to call any of these rides, apart from the Ruby Rocker, that's the one that's already named, please leave me in the comments, and I would like to read those, and I do respond to all the comments on my videos. And if you have anything, if you want it named after your channel, or if you want a bit of publicity, let me know, because I'm more than happy to assist in that if you want to advertise your channel via my channel. So we go on the ride camera. Let's see. So we start off as cinematic here. This is a cinematic view. Ooh, can I do anything? Can I go to a seat? This is a particular seat there. Okay, let's do that one. So this is guest facing, so that faces the guest. And we're in the testing mode here, so we'll start to see some of the people jump on. In fact, if we could just wait here. Ooh, let me see. So we're in the guest mode. The guests are coming in. We're on this one, so some people will be running to this one. And in fact, that lady, yeah, look at this. These two ladies here. Look at them. They're thrilled. Okay, cool. So they're going to ride the Tri-Storm. So get on. Wait for the last few people to jump on, zoom out a little bit, and we'll see the Tri-Storm. So again, this ride here, it goes with the colour scheme of the park, because remember, we're talking about these pastels, the colours that really are meant to, oh, there we go, we'll let that do that with the camera until we get completely dizzy. The colours that are meant to resonate for the park are supposed to be pastels and golds, reds and pinks. That's kind of cool. Okay, I find the ride is doing its own thing, and we're then also spinning as well. I find that a little this is weird. Oh, that is really strange. I'm not doing anything with the camera there, guys. This is it doing that. I think what we'll do is jump off that one and just have a look at it. So you can see there the Tri-Storm. That was making me a little bit seasick there. So you've got 3 individual arms swinging them out at these 180-degree angles. And I guess you get a rush as you come across the top part of that. You get a rush as you come down faster along there. You'd slow down as you get across the top and you come back in. So that's the Tri-Storm. Please leave your comments if you want to help me with the naming of the Tri-Storm. I think I'll finish off this path with some I think I will put on some railing along here, just maybe some picket fence railing. And we've got our present stack there. Our bathrooms over here, which are being utilised, lovely. And we've got our gingerbread main food. We've got the drink, which is from the workshop. We can look up and see our chairlift. And then we can go and see our next ride, which will be, so our next ride is actually going to be the drop ride, which is the Ascendants. Again, if you want to help me with the naming of the Ascendants, I would like to take on your thoughts on that one, and we'll go ahead and do that. So to walk to the Ascendants, though, we need to go through here. So let's come down here and let's do this. Okay, we're going to this camera mode here, and this is walking at kind of eye level to see this bridge that I created by hand. So the idea with this bridge is very floral. I like the idea of because you know, plants and flowers need to be put in into soil, and you think of that as sort of on the land. So I like the idea of a bridge that was it's almost like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, but just a bridge version. So everything's kind of built up. It's a flower bridge. I like just there's a little juxtaposition between what you would find in the natural world. And as you come here, of course, this is where people would stop and they would look at the tree and go, wow, that's cool. I wonder if I might put a focal point in there for get people looking at the tree. But yeah, if you want to take photos of your Christmas tree and you've come to a very stitched up Christmas park, you would do it at this point, I believe, because this is the first point where you get to see that very, very large tree, and that'd be quite cool. Okay, so the Ascendance is there, but actually the Avalanche is first. So let's ride the Avalanche. Let's get on the queue, and we'll go in and ride the Avalanche, and we'll see about that. You can see the Ruby Rocket going there in the background. Okay, right, so how do we use the controls in this game? Right, here we go, we're good. Let's go up the queue here. Let's go up here. Ooh, yeah. God, I think scrolling back is just a bad thing. So you come up the Ruby Rocker, you come up here, yep, there you go. And so you can see there you're walking under the structure of the Ruby Rocker. Let's have a look at what we can see here out on this point. So if you are queuing to this point, I think the idea here is that you're queuing quite a while just to go on a Ferris wheel, which is there, the Avalanche, and we'll talk about the colours of that in just a sec. But I guess the idea here is as you're queuing through this on a busy day at the park, you would see the Ruby Rocket come past and you get to see the people and interact with them, and I think that's part of the excitement of this queue is having this wooden roller coaster above you rattling past, and I think that's really cool. I like that. Guys, I changed the colour of the Avalanche, so the primary colour there is red for the carts that carry the people, so red for the little capsules, but I love this new colour. It's kind of like, it's almost like fluorescent white. I really, really like this new colour. This is really, 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 I'm just happy with that. Hang on, the queue is this way. Yeah, I'm very happy with the new colour, and I think it goes with the Avalanche theme. Now, I like here, this is the 180-degree angle here. You've got this straight angle here. If you're queuing on this section, you know, I think at this point it's going to, where is it? No, it's going to come back. So it's going to come from this direction. So it's going to come in there. Its very, very first drop will be here, and it'll come down there. So you'll see this thing roar past you and go into an airtime hill. And I like that. I think that's kind of cool. Let's see if we waited here. This is a good point to wait, and I think this is a very good point to wait because you've got lots of trees. In fact, there's too many trees there. But if we were here, we would see it come this way and straight down there. In fact, here it is. This is the Ruby Rocker coming past us. Almost like a little cinematic here. We have a full ride vehicle today. He then goes into a very tight loop with an overbank, an underbank. And there he comes in here. Yeah, it's quite fast. I mean, you know, and then it really slows down for the second half of the ride, and that's really cool. It goes right through the middle of the observation wheel. So that's cool. We jump in the observation wheel. Your point is you'll be waiting here, and the observation wheel you'll be jumping straight into. Is this thing open? It is open. What's happening, people? Why is no one riding the observation wheel? Why are they not riding that? Did I close the park? Yeah, the park's open. People would ride the observation wheel. So you come in here, you jump in, and you do that, and you ride the wheel. You jump straight in there. Now, I don't know if the wheel stops. I don't know about the mechanisms of the wheel, but the wheel should be stopping. And I don't know about the throughput and how many people are going on that. But for some reason, no one's riding the wheel, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if it's to do with... no, hang on. There were people getting in the queue behind us. So they must be up here. Let's see. Let's see. There were people coming up here. Right, let's see. Is there an issue? It's just a nice horizontal queue. Queue. People were queuing. They should be coming in here. Now, these people, in theory... Let's speed up. Let's speed up and see what these people do. These people should ride the wheel. Let's see them. Does anyone know the theme tune to Benny Hill? Cool, okay, so you can see some of the structural work here for the Ruby Rocker. I'm actually going to redo the signage for the Ruby Rocker. Oh, hang on, we're still on speed 3. So these guys are coming in. Let's see if they persist. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because the park doesn't have many people. I don't know what the go is here, but I guess the Ruby Rocker is something that's... I don't know, maybe this queue is way too long. Maybe the queue's way too long. Anyway, I think that's pretty good. Well, we've seen the Ruby Rocker, so that's nice. Now, don't forget it hangs over the water here. That's lovely. So they jump on the Ruby Rocker, and we go back to speed 1. Okay, so if you come out of the Ruby Rocker, you would come out here, and you go around the other side. So you come out this way, and there's the people waiting to queue on. They go onto the ride, and then you come out here, and you're out. Okay. Don't forget as well. You come down. You get down to grade, and then you come down a bit further and you're down at the regular grade level and straight out back onto the main path, and that's where we got that bit of the Christmas tree as well, so that's all pretty cool. Okay, so let's see next. Let's see here. So the very next ride we've got to ride, and I don't know if we'll ride it, but we'll have a bit of a look at it. This is one of the new ones I put in recently with this new 45-degree angled path, and I really like the way this path goes. This is something that as you play the game you get used to some things. I'm going to zoom up here and get a bit of a drone shot, see if I can get a little bit of a drone shot like that. That's a big angled shot. Look at that, and this is going to see this one. So I guess if we thought about that is it the Tri-Star that was that first ride that we saw, that first flat ride at the bottom of the main staircase that takes you down to the park? That's a very old-fashioned ride that you'd see. This is a really modern version of it. This is a claw. It's the one in that at the top of the big Vegas hotel in Las Vegas that hangs over the top. It's a very similar one to that. So I guess the idea is this thing would swing out and these things would spin around, and we'll see that run in just a sec. So this is just a nice flat ride. For a flat ride, I think it's pretty good. And again, with the colors, we're going with, so this color here should tie in with the avalanche. Yeah, you got the yellow and the lighter one there. We might actually go ahead, since it's close to the avalanche, let's go ahead and change the colors of this ride and put in that last color as well. So if we look at the ride color, I've got the, say the yellow. Let's do this one and we'll do that. Yeah, that's nice. In fact, let's do this one as that. Yeah, that's good, because that is great, because the juxtaposition between the dark and the light is really cool, and that ties that in, the avalanche, in with this. It ties those two rides in together. They go well together. So you can see there, this is part of the appeal of this ride is spinning around. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Is that? I kind of thought it would be less stop-start. It is. It just hadn't gone yet. Okay, cool. So once it gets going, I have a look at it and it's off and running in its circular motion. Then it seems to do a little bit of that. Zips around and off it goes. And let's see here. Rightio. So what are we doing here? We are coming back down to ground level, and we're going to walk around to the main sort of round walkway of the park. These are 8-meter wide paths, I believe. no, maybe 7 meters here for this big sort of circular area, and you get a really good glimpse of the chairlift here as well. So let's go ahead and we'll move on. You can see here some of our nice planting. Geez, we really still haven't got to that drop tower yet, but this is the Ruby Rocker entrance. We'll have to put a nice sign here. Making a note, I've actually got a notepad here. I'm making a note that for the Ruby Rocker, we need new sign. And I think the sign that's up on the ride, where is it? There it is. Yeah, I'm going to put that sign here. I'm going to make a brand new custom made sign for the Ruby Rocker. It's going to be many, many times larger than that. You can see here people on the chairlift, and that's kind of cool. That's good. People just up and running. I do like this as well. This is the return part. This is the brake run of the Ruby Rocker, the nice woody, the wooden coaster. And so this part here, I do like that because you come up a little hill there, and then you've got a couple of sort of airtime hills just before. When you come up here into the brake run, and I like that it's right there. It's right where these people walk past. You get to see them rattle past. The wooden coasters rattle beautifully, don't they? You hear that. It's a real theme parks sort of soundscape, this rattling of these coasters, the Wicker Man at Alton Towers, things like that. It's really cool. Okay, so if we have a look here, the next thing, so we jump in. So this ride here, now it's interesting. Look how many people are riding here for the shot tower. This is a shot tower here. It rides up and it drops. It's a lovely drop tower. In fact, this is one that bursts upwards as opposed to takes you up slowly and then drops. It seems to be a launch tower. Now, people are not lining up for our friend over here, this one, the Avalanche, but we've got hundreds of people in the queue for this one. Interesting. Again, with all the trees, but I like the trees. Yeah, they jump in there, and we might be able to have a bit of a look. Let's have a look at here we go. This is the ride. This is the rider's view. Can we look around? We can. Can we zoom out? We can as well. That's a good cinematic, actually, so that is quite nice. I do like this one, how it does. I'm just going to let go of the mouse there. And I like how this one interacts with the chairlift. Look at that. Here we go. Chairlift right next to you. Again, everything's just out of arm's reach, or well out, actually, because you don't want any accidents. But that's kind of nice and close still, which I think is kind of cool. Does the up and down, and then the little gaps get shorter as he goes down, so that's quite good. Again, this is working on that theory that I talked about in the last episode, where people get off the ride. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. People get off the ride. No, sorry. This way. Yeah, as soon as they come off the ride, it's a quick return to the main path. And so long queue on one path, but then off on a different part and a quick return to the main path. So they can come straight off the ride and go, that was exciting. You know, as part of, so you don't want a big queue for them to get off the ride, and it keeps the primary ride vehicle close to this main part of the park here. I hope that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, I like them having a long queue but a short exit. And they come off, the adrenaline's pumping, and they're all excited, and the kid goes, can we get a sandwich, or can we get a hamburger? And the parents go, yes. The design, I'm trying to think about the design of some of these things. This is a beautiful building, by the way, a lovely building. I'll have to take some things into mind. I probably can start to move across some of these little windows to here to tie in the two. I mean, I made this from scratch. It's not too bad. And then this one is from the workshop. That's pretty good. I think it's not even from the workshop. I think it's part of the packs. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can fit a flat ride in here. This little corner here, I think I've got an area here. I've got to be careful because of, you know, the chairlift above. But for this bit, I'm just going to zoom out. I want to get a flat ride in here. Maybe the zipper could go in there, because you could put the zipper here, quite vertical in this section, and you could put its queue in this little section here, so possibly. And I think I could move this. I've got a bit of room here to even move this queue, so it really snakes around a bit wider. So I will put another flat ride in there, and this is the exit for the Ruby Rocker. So let's go and have a look at the Ruby Rocker now. So we're going to come in here. And we come down here. So there's lots of people in the queue for this one as well. And the Ruby Rocker should have a queue. It's a lovely ride. Yeah, we've got a lot of people at the park. There they go. Again, I like how they come straight out of this sort of, not over the top kind of station house, and then it drops straight into a drop, which is very typical for a wooden coaster to drop straight into a drop here, and then off it goes onto that. Now wooden coasters, of course, if we have a look at this, Planet Coaster does this quite well actually. It replicates this really well. So what happens is, let me see if I can show this a bit better, is this is a wooden coaster, so the structure is wooden, all the supports are wooden, and what happens there is the rails are metal, but they sit on top of these pieces of wood, and that's how that goes. Now what happens with the hybrid coaster is so hybrid coasters still have wooden supports and they look quite similar there, but these parts here have a mix of wood and metal, and those are able to, because you know wood here, if you look at wooden coasters, really all you can do is curve wood and bend it under heat, and you know even then you've got to be very careful, whereas hybrid coasters can use the benefit of steel, so they can do a lot more. They can do twists and turns and inversions and corkscrews and helixes and all of these cool things. So you can see there it goes, the lovely Ruby Rocker straight into the lift hill. Again, you're pulling with a bit of speed because of the drop down here. You're getting a little bit of speed, you get straight into there and off you go, straight into the lift hill. And I like the idea that the natural drop gets you a bit of speed, and as soon as you get into the lift hill, you've got momentum, and then the chain lift grabs you, and then you start moving forward. So that's what I've tried to replicate on the Ruby Rocker. I've tried to give it some realism there, that it starts to grab them as they're already ascending up the chain lift. We'll go up the queue here, rightio, and we're getting all the people in all the sections. Who are the people at the front? Here they are, the people at the very front, and we're going to jump on this one here. Sorry, we are going to jump on this one here. Not that one. Let's go to, we want a different car actually, different train, and this is this one, train 2. And we want to go seats. Ooh, here we go. This is what's that? Seats 1, seat 2, seat 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So is this seat 1? Is it really though? I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. So we are riding here, and if you have a look here, oh, hello, Mr. Bearded Man, you're going up the lift hill. So I might actually go to the interest points here. This is showing them come off the lift hill. Yeah, let's roll with that. That's pretty cool. I think the interest points are pretty good, and I can zoom out, and we zoom around. So it is a nice. You get to see the left-hand border of the park there. You're looking at some of the mountains around. Here it comes. Look, I have one regret about this one, is that I think I made the coaster a little bit too short. And I think that's because the first part of the coaster is so fast. I think the ride experience is like 90 seconds on this. And I think I'm just not quite happy with how that goes. Now you do wait here as well. This is an open park and we've got many people in the park. And so what's happening here is these guys are waiting for the other people to be safely loaded. Now if you look there, it was about a 20-second gap, maybe 15-second gap. Now if there's a problem at the station, the gap would be longer, so I'm hoping I might be able to get a third brake section in. There's a head chopper moment there for people coming down that first drop. And they come under that section. These guys then go into another little bit there, and you get into these brake sections, so that's all quite good. And it goes around quite quickly here. If you think this, don't forget this is where we talked about the rattling. The rattling of the wooden coaster there is great, and I think these people coming back on the chairlift and going forwards on the chairlift all get to enjoy that. So you would come off this ride on this side, and you would come out the exit here, and we've got this sort of exit, and you're facing the lovely mountain, and you think, right, let's get deeper into the park. We've just done the Ruby Rocker, we've done the Avalanche, we want to head up to the top part of the park. Let's get up there and have a look. So we come under here. This is all yet to be themed and decorated. And of course we've got the chairlift. Again, the chairlift needs a name, so please, if you've got a name for the chairlift, that's great. I would like you to help me with that, and people riding the chairlift as well. The good thing about the chairlift is the throughput. So if you look at the size of this queue, I don't think you ever get a queue. Let's watch what happens to these people as soon as they get to the front. Where's the person who's running the ride? Is this just help yourself, is it? It really is. This thing is open. You jump in, you jump straight on. I think what happens is the people go through the barrier and it zooms them straight onto it. So 2 went there, 2 went there. These people jumping off Is this person? This is jumping on. There's a group of 5. Here's a group of 4, 2 adults and 2 kids. Let's watch them. Not these 3 here, these 4. Let's watch them. They zip straight on to here and to here. It was that one and that one actually. So this person will be getting off, I believe. They've come in from the upper plateau. Let's watch her. Let's watch our friend here. Just checking out the ride mechanic here. So other people are getting on. If you have a look here, every single one has people on it. Because by the time, we always seem to have people queuing up. And this person should be the one who gets off here. Is she going to jump off? Is she going around again? I think she might be going around again. Let's see about the ride camera here. So I want to go from the start though, people. Right, let's have a look at this. So let's go group 1, group 85. Ooh, there's lots of groups. Group 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I could just, I'm going forward here. Oop, this is chair. These are the chairs. Okay, let's go right back to the start. Clicking, there's the very first drop here. And we are in. Radio. So this is the chairlift and this is from the very start. So here, immediately coming out of the station, you get a lift, which is nice. I like the lift straight up. I think that would be exhilarating to people. Again, if people have been too nervous to ride the observation wheel, which is quite tall, the shot tower, which is quite tall, or the Ruby Rocker, which is fast and tall, I think the families here might want to jump on this one. And that little lift is their first little rush. I like the drop there too. If you look at the Ruby Rocker here as well, let me see if I can just move the camera. Yeah, look at that look at that drop for the Ruby Rocker to come down. A bit of smoothing out required just here on the Ruby Rocker. I need to come back and just smooth these tracks out a bit. But yeah, coming straight out of there, it's a nice drop down. We'll see that there's the second ride vehicle there about to do it. He's been given the go ahead to move forward, and the system moves him forward, and that's a nice little final rush. You get a bit of speed there. This is just to get them into the brake runs. I mean, once you get into the middle section, the ride is kind of over. This is all about exiting, but at that point you should just enjoy seeing the lift, the chairlift and things like that. So that's all quite cool. We are following these people here, these lovely people. Let's see them. Shall we go up and have a look? Look at them. I mean, they look happy. She's got her glasses on. You know, just happy. They'll get their cameras out. They'll take some photos of the tree. They'll have a look at the avalanche here. Brilliant. And this is the idea here. So we talk about, in the last episode, so the placement of the trees. Everything is kind of, it looks like, when you're on the rides, the trees aren't that close. You kick your feet. Can you touch the top of the tree? You definitely can't. So again, things look close, but once you're on the ride, it's like, wow, you can actually, this is all spaced out nicely. So this is meant to have a bit of a ski run feel to it. That sort of sitting there, the anticipation of what happens at the top. If you wanted to on this ride, you could stay on this ride and just completely go round. You wouldn't even have to get off at the top. You can stay on and just completely go from the lower section, view the top, and come back down to the lower section. There is a station at both ends. People can do what they want. Nice drop down before we go back up again, and the idea here is to drop people down. Let me have a look at this tree. Oh, okay, mate, let's make a note. That tree is not meant to do that. Now, I have scenery collision turned off, so it will clip through trees like that. I'm making a note here just to move that tree in the lower section. And we have gone with the red and green theme for this as well. However, I'm thinking we should change the colour of this. Although this is quite, I'm enjoying this. I was going to just escape out of this, but I'm enjoying this. I think this is these two are a nice group to follow. So here, this waterfall is an expensive thing for the park to have set up and run. It's meant to be a feature as you walk in. You would sense the waterfall, you would hear it, you would get some spray off it as you walk in. And I think that's kind of cool. I like the idea that in winter we've got a waterfall because that's a cold thing. But I do like that. I like how that is like that. And again, here it's tying in the first thing. When we start at the start of the video, we come out of the entrance tunnel, we looked up and saw the chairlift. Well, now we're on the chairlift looking back down at the entrance tunnel. And of course, this whole section up here is completely not done yet. So you go into a bit of a looping section around here. and you get to sort of uh, you know, come up this whole section and see a lot of the coasters and see what we build up here. Now I'm going to skip forward and just see if I can skip forward a few things here. So there's a them 20. Let me go back in numbers. Yeah, let me go back in numbers. So what's happening here is it's actually taking people up the hill. So as I go down in numbers, we're moving up the queue, and this is the idea here is, you know, the poles aren't that big, but the drop off is huge. Look at that down there. This is like 150 meters. This is the highest point. At this point, you are higher than the Ruby Rocker, you're higher than the Avalanche, and higher than the yet to be named Drop Tower. And that's pretty cool. And up until this point, you haven't really had very many of these towers in great height, but here you do. And my theory here in putting these towers up, see. These towers are all quite high, but I brought the snow up. So the idea was you going up the snow, but overall you're getting some immense height. And these things can't be too high that they're unrealistic. But once they're sitting on bedrock and then snow above them, they're sitting on a mountainside, then it's a bit more realistic that they would be so tall. When you get things that are really, really tall and they look like this sort of T-shape, there's a limit to how tall these will be in the real world. But in this case, these things are supported by the mountainside. You get the lake there as well, which is quite good. I'm toying about making this lake into a big sort of open, well, it's a river, it's a kind of reservoir at the top. It's one of those lakeside sort of mountains that sit at the top of a lake that sits halfway up a mountain. I'm toying of putting like a ship in there. It's a bit like, how did that get there? But I kind of like the idea of it. I'm toying with this kind of Antarctic exploration vessel that is kind of stuck in the ice. I'm toying with that, but I'm not sure. Tell me what you think in the comments. This part of the park is very largely unfinished, as though you couldn't tell, and I might jump off. I will jump off that actually. In fact, let's go up the mountain and just have a quick look there. Let's get off that. Let's do that, and let's go straight up there, please. Ooh, there we go. There we go, look at that. Can you see the camera work there? That is interesting, but yeah, we come straight back down to here. And custom supports going in there, a nice little line. Again, here's the main path, nice queue going off that. And then straight back down with a relatively short queue, down to grade, straight off, and I think that's kind of cool. And we'll tie in a few of these things. I think you will not see any of this station at the bottom of the station. You'll not see any of that. You'll not see any of the the first station for this ride. These things will be all covered up. So this section down here, these things will be all covered up. So I think if we just recap about which rides we have yet to name, the Ruby Rocket is named, the Avalanche is named, but we have Flat Ride here. We have a Flat Ride here. We have then the Drop Tower, which is quite cool, the Ascendant. Over here, then the last thing we have then is the chairlift. So please leave your comments down below. I'm going to be keen to see what you think we should be calling some of this stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Stitch Up. I think this is episode 6, therefore I think we're probably going to be looking at 12 episodes. I hope, and then maybe a final walkthrough like this, but a final walkthrough at the very end, with seeing the very final part of the park. I think that could be good. And I will see you. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Here's an overview. I'll see you in the very next episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.